Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we are trying out a brand new team. This team was built by a player called Saya Busin. You can follow them on Twitter in the description below, and they were actually able to climb up to rank 1 of the last season with this team. So it's obviously got a lot of cool tricks up its sleeve. It's got offensive Grimmsnarl, it's got competitive Gothitelle, a weakness Policy Vanilluxe, Pessimian, which we've seen on Sajan's team already, kind of like an offensive Rotom with Foul Play and Magnet, which is a really interesting item choice, and then Focus Sash and Allure. So I'm really excited to try this team out, and this is a team where I think every Pokemon could actually conceivably Dynamax, so I'm curious to see if we're actually going to be able to pull that off maybe throughout the course of our run with this team. So I am working on some new teams. If you guys have suggestions for things that you'd like to see, because I want to play stuff that's good, but also not like too meta standard, definitely let me know in the comments below, and let's just jump into today's episode. So yeah, question of the day, I'm curious what you guys think about this team. Do you like the team? I haven't played any games with it, but it just looks really cool on paper, and yeah, I mean, competitive Gothitelle is not something I've used at all, and it's really cool, like, you can bluff it, basically. So, we're just going to jump onto the ladder and see how things go. As always, if you guys enjoy Road Training, please show your support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm probably going to be doing another long stream this Friday, so if you weren't able to catch the last one, or if you're interested in just coming out and hanging out again, tune in at Cybertron VGC. I'm not sure what time exactly that will be, but definitely at some point. So, let's just jump onto the ladder and see how things go. Otherwise, I mean, this team has a lot of crazy stuff, right? Like, offensive Grimmsnarl is something that I think people sleep on a little bit, because at this point, it's so common when you see Grimmsnarl for it to be like a bulkier variant that people kind of just sleep on it and don't expect one that can hit for super, super hard. So, the creator of the team actually said that one of the more common leads with this team is the Gothitelle plus the Chandelure, which actually doesn't seem quite terrible to me here. Pessimian can do a lot of damage. Weavile's an interesting Pokemon pick here on my opponent's team. We've got... I wonder how much, like, Life Orb Sucker Punch does to... Yeah, because this is, like, hyper-offensive Grimmsnarl. I wonder how much that does to, say, the Darmanitan. I mean, we could set up Trick Room in this match. If we were to, what would we lead? I don't think we bring Rotom into this matchup. It's got Foul Play, actually, which makes it a little bit more viable, but not the biggest fan. I'm thinking Gothitelle Chandelure, which is like the standard lead for this team, with Vanilluxe and Pessimian in the back. I think Pessimian's a pretty decent candidate to Dynamax, but we don't necessarily have to. I'd like Grimmsnarl, but... Actually, the more I think about it, the more I think Grimmsnarl is good, but I don't know who I dropped for it. That's the main problem. Alright, I'll try out Gothitelle Chandelure with Pessimian and Vanilluxe in the back. So, I don't actually know which Pokemon Dynamaxes most frequently with this team. So I'm very curious about that. Like, Vanilluxe seems like a decent candidate just because it's running weakness policy, so... Like, it's still a pretty frail Pokemon without the weakness policy. Or sorry, without the Dynamax, and so I would think you would want to Dynamax and then set up the weakness policy. It's gonna be a Whimsicott Tyranitar, okay. This is a relatively free fake out into Whimsicott and Trick Room. But then the question is, where do we go from there? I guess we can bring in Pessimian. We could also fake out Tyranitar, but that might Dynamax, so I think it's best to just fake out Whimsicott and Trick Room here. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe leading Gothitelle wasn't super good. Like, we could have gone, I guess, like Grimmsnarl, Chandelure, and accomplished the same theme, but then we'd pressure with a lot more offense the following turn. So the question here is, what does Tyranitar do? Do you Dynamax? Do you just go for Rock Slide? Do you maybe Crunch? One of the two. This guy actually switches out, okay, interesting, into Gastrodon. So that's a really good play by my opponent. And no Dynamax from Tyranitar, so we could have clicked Fake Out onto that slot. He's going to just go for Rock Slide, okay. Yeah, we survived that with both. Hopefully we don't get flinched here. We do get Trick Room up. Okay. So this is actually kind of cool because this Gothitelle does have Energy Ball, which will allow us to hit the Gastrodon. But we probably will have to sacrifice the Chandelure here, because Tyranitar should underspeed us. Could even Dynamax and Max Overgrowth, but I don't want to eat up a Crunch, and I think I want to Dynamax Pessimian in this game. So I think I'm just gonna, oops, no, we're not Dynamaxing here. I'm just gonna click Energy Ball here onto Gastrodon. I'll probably just go for double energy ball. Even if I lose both Pokemon here, I do get a free switch in, which I think I'd be okay with. And Gothitelle, or sorry, no Dynamax from the Gastron, which is actually huge, especially if it's not carrying Grass Resist Berry here. Okay. Yeah, it's not. Nice. So Gothitelle gets the energy ball off. It actually just one-shots the Gastrodon. That was a critical hit. That probably mattered, but I mean, this is hyper-offensive. Or super-offensive Gothitelle, so I don't know for sure. So Crunch here will get the knockout. One of the cool things about competitive too is, like, if you don't check to see whether you can switch out, people often just assume it's Shadow Tag, which is kind of fun. So now we get two of the more offensive Pokemon out in Passimian and Vanilluxe, and Trick Room is up, which is obviously in our favor. So things are actually looking pretty solid right now, because we were able to just knock out Gastrodon. I was worried about Gastrodon Dynamaxing and then getting like multiple Max Quakes off. But now we're actually in a pretty good spot. The question is who we want to Dynamax. I think Passimian is probably the better choice. Just checking what my opponent has in the back. Yeah, nothing resists it. So I'm going to Dynamax it. Think it's fine to just go for Max Knuckle into Tyranitar and Blizzard. I guess the one thing I'm worried about is Tyranitar Dynamaxing here and then activating a weakness policy. So one way around that would be to chip away by going for like Max Steel Spike and Blizzard to knock out Whimsicott. Yeah, because I don't think Max Knuckle knocks out, so I'd rather go for get the defense boost with Passimian. And then once we chip away at the Tyranitar, then maybe Max Knuckle will KO. Maybe Max Knuckle plus Blizzard knocks out anyway. I don't know. It is Dynamax Tyranitar though, so I wouldn't think so. But Dynamax Passimian is out. So this is, you know, one of the, I would say, more underrated Pokemon before Seijen was able to win the World Champion Invitational with this. So we are going to see the Tyranitar Dynamax, it looks like. Yep. Might have actually been better to have protected Vanilluxe to try to get the weakness policy proc. I don't know if Max Rockfall will knock out this Vanilluxe at +1 defense though. That's the other big question. So let's see. I don't know how fast Tyranitar will be relative to Vanilluxe either. But we'll get the Max Steel Spike off here. And it is Focus Sash, which is not too surprising. Alright, so who moves first between Tyranitar and Vanilluxe? That's the question. We'll get a defense boost here with both, which is obviously good. Alright, Tyranitar will move first, so we'll get the Max Rockfall off. Does this KO at -1? Let's see. Or at +1 defense for us. It does get the knockout. Okay. Then, yeah, I mean, I think we should have definitely protected Vanilluxe. Maybe even just gone for Max Fighting into Tyranitar. Moonblast here shouldn't do too much to us, but yeah. And I'm not sure if Passimian can 2v1 at this point. I think, yeah, we needed to protect Vanilluxe there. The question now is, does Max Fighting knock out Tyranitar? I don't think it does. Like, I wanted the chip damage from Blizzard as Darmanitan comes out. Okay, then maybe we'll still be okay, because what we can do here is just go for Max Knuckle into Darmanitan. That'll give us the +1 attack boost. Darmanitan's probably choiced here, so I doubt it can protect. So it comes down to Tyranitar's moveset. Like Crunch, I mean, both Crunch and Rock, sorry, Dark and Rock don't do very much, so you probably need to go for Fighting, but even that's not doing very much because we have that +1 defense boost. So Passimian might be able to pull this one off, honestly. Trick Room is expiring soon, but Darmanitan I don't think is going to have Protect here, as it doesn't, yeah. So we'll get the Max Knuckle off, and this should get the knockout. Okay. It's another knockout here for Passimian. That was a crit. Don't think that matters, though. Like, Darmanitan's one of the frailest Pokemon in the metagame. We got a little bit lucky with the crit onto the Gastrodon, though. It's actually just going for Max Quake, which I'm okay with as well. Let's see how much this even does. 276 to 213. So even if we proc Weakness Policy, things would be okay. But I think it might be better to just... Well, let's see. We still have Trick Room up. It's the last turn. If we want to play around Weakness Policy, we'd have to go for Max Darkness and Rockfall, but then the question is, does Max Quake plus another attack KO us? I just don't know if +1 Max Knuckle knocks out Tyranitar. Like, Max Quake does so little that I'm thinking maybe we go for Max Rockfall into Brick Break. But 2 attacks might knock out Passimian. Okay, I think I'm just going to go for Max Knuckle here. We'll see if +1 Max Knuckle from Passimian can KO. I mean, this is 4x super effective, obviously, and we're at +1 attack. Okay, nice, nice. We get the knockout there. Woo, let's go, Passimian. Yeah, if Tyranitar protects there, then both of our Dynamaxes end, and then Brick Break just knocks out Tyranitar in the next turn. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think my lead was super strong. Like, Gothitelle Chandelure was pretty weak to the Tyranitar, obviously. But trying to think what I would lead better to counter Tyranitar. Probably go for the Grimmsnarl. But having Energy Ball on this Gothitelle was huge, because once we had that, just curious. Specs Gengar, that's cool. Lumberry, Gastrodon, Red Card, Weavile, wow. Weakness Policy, Tyranitar didn't have Protect, okay. Worry Seed, Whimsicott, and Choice Scarf Darmanitan. So no Protects pretty much on anything on that team. But yeah, I figured Passimian could just put in a lot of work and sweep through. So, nice. Don't think Vanilluxe would have been a great candidate to Dynamax in that match, especially in front of a Tyranitar. I was thinking maybe we could survive the Rockfall, but I think that was a little ambitious to think that. I really wanted to bring Grimmsnarl. I think it would have been a pretty cool lead, because we can go for like super effective Foul Play, or sorry, Play Rough into Tyranitar. Yeah, I don't think Rotom I'm ever bringing to that matchup. If I were to re-lead that, maybe go Grimmsnarl and Chandelure instead. But yeah, this team is pretty Trick Room oriented, because it is on the slower end. And we'll probably be setting up Trick Room again here. But Rotom could actually be really solid here, especially with Magnet. Might even want to Dynamax it. Vanilluxe is not bad either. All our Pokemon are solid here, to be honest. This could be a great spot for Gothitelle, though. I guess my opponent probably never brings that Arcanine. Like, why would you bring Arcanine into this matchup? We've got the Cassie Berry as well on Gothitelle, so you could survive, presumably, Max Ghost. I'm thinking of just going with the same lead, though. Vanilluxe is solid here, especially with Weakness Policy. Like, I'm thinking Gothitelle Chandelure with Rotom in the back. Because Dynamax Rotom will actually do a ton of damage to everything on the opposing side. So Gothitelle Chandelure with Rotom in the back. And then the question is, who do I want to bring if I'm not Dynamaxing? Like, Life Orb Grimmsnarl actually could put in a ton of work here, especially for the Dragapult, but I guess I shouldn't be too worried about Dragapult. I'm actually leaning towards Vanilluxe, mainly because I can freeze dry the Milotic, and I've got Flash Cannon. I'll bring Vanilluxe. Let's try that out. So we'll see if Magnet Rotom can put in some work into this matchup. Because if we Dynamax it with Magnet, I mean, we do a ton of damage to Togekiss, to the Corviknight. We've got Foul Play, which then turns into, I think, Max Darkness, so we could use that. And we've got really good coverage with the Rotom, basically. So it's going to be Sylveon and Dragapult, looks like. Okay. I think this is fine. I think we want to just fake out Sylveon and go for Trick Room on Chandelure. Yeah, you can't stop the Trick Room here. Let's go for that. I'm going to want to take care of Sylveon, though, and I guess by not bringing Passimian, we don't have great offense against it. Now, one fun thing that can happen here is if my opponent decides to Dynamax Dragapult and goes for Max Ghost, and we survive with Gothitelle, which I think we should, we'll actually get the competitive boost, which would be huge. Which is one of the reasons why competitive is neat, right? You don't necessarily need it, like, it's not like Intimidate's the only thing that's proccing it, as Dragapult actually switches out, okay. Interesting. Into my Milotic. No Dynamax from Sylveon, though, so this is a pretty free Trick Room, which I guess we'll take. Wonder if I want to Dynamax Gothitelle, then, honestly. Like, that might seem kind of crazy, but with Goth, we can just go for Dynamax, Max Mindstorm. We're not taking much damage from the opposing side. I might Dynamax Gothitelle since it is more offensive. I mean, Rotom is still a decent candidate, but in order for Rotom to really get mileage, we're going to want to knock out Sylveon. With Trick Room being up, I want to make the most and get as much damage off as possible. So, yeah, I actually think I'm going to Dynamax the Gothitelle here. Go for Max Mindstorm. and go for a Shadow Ball. Because Milotic doesn't really threaten us with the Rotom in the back, so we want to take care of Sylveon, which might Dynamax here. Alright, so Gothitelle is going to Dynamax. Not a Pokemon I ever expected to Dynamax, but here we are. I didn't really want to switch out Chandelure there. I don't think I have a really great switch in. And the reason why I'm prioritizing Milotic is because, or not knocking out Milotic and knocking out Sylveon instead, is because we've got Rotom for the Milotic as well as the Vanilluxe. So no Dynamax here, which is good. Max Mindstorm should do a ton of damage to Sylveon here. That looks like Assault Vested based off how well it took that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's probably AV then. But we're actually slower with Chandelure here as well, which is actually really a good piece of information. As we eat up a Hyper Voice and probably just Scald into Chandelure. I wonder if that even KOs, to be honest. It probably does. Let's see. But I don't mind if it does. We get a free switch in. And we actually survive, which is kind of neat. Okay, so one thing we can actually do now is actually go for Max Overgrowth on a Milotic. And since we know we're slower than Chandelure, aka faster under Trick Room, Energy Ball's damage up will be boosted. I'm almost confident that's Assault Vest Sylveon based off. I know Sylveon's special defense is pretty high, but still, like, that was. It took those super, super well. I wasn't expecting a knockout there, but I was expecting it to be in KO range at least. So, yeah, I'm going to double up onto. Yeah, it looks like my opponent forgetting about the Psychic Terrain, so that's one other cool thing. Not that I was really trying to deny that, but I wonder if that was, like, Sylveon to try to activate Weakness Policy on Dragapult. So, we'll go for Max Grass, and now that Grassy Terrain is up, Energy Ball might just knock out the Milotic, which would be beautiful. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so that's out of the way. Might have been better just to have doubled up into Sylveon there, to be honest, but Milotic is pretty tanky. So we heal back a little bit with everything. Now, the key thing is that my opponent will have the Dynamax advantage in this game, so even though we have a good start, it's still far from over. And we have to be very, very careful about, like, Dragapult Dynamaxing. Because I'm not sure we'll be able to get up a second Trick Room in this game, as Dragapult comes back out. Okay. Oh, yeah, I really want to. I feel like it's probably Weakness Policy then with that. Now you can go for Quick Attack onto Chandelure. Not even sure that's KOing, to be honest. We still got 2 turns of Trick Room, which is good. I think you probably Quick Attack Chandelure. And maybe Dynamax Max Ghost Gothitelle, which we should survive. And then that'll give us a competitive boost too if you go for Max Ghost. So I think I'm actually just going to Max Mindstorm and then go out into Vanilluxe here. Yeah. It might have been better just to have attacked there because I could see Sylveon quick attacking the Dragapult to activate Weakness Policy. I think Dragapult probably Dynamaxes in this match. Let's see, it looks like something's Dynamaxing. If it does, then that's good, because then we'll still have another turn of Trick Room this following turn. So it almost forces Dragapult to, like, Max Guard. If it's carrying it. And then we can maybe knock out the Sylveon, and then there's only one more turn of Dynamax after that. So let's see. He actually just Max Guards outright, which is even better for us here, I think. Because now we get... So we eat up a Hyper Voice, okay. Yeah, that was a solid play. But now we have another turn of Trick Room, Psychic Terrain is up, and we can just click Blizzard and Psychic. Sylveon might underspeed us, but we'll survive with Vanilluxe anyway. Yeah. We probably don't survive Max Ghost anymore, though, after that, but that's okay, I think. Because then, that's already one turn of Dynamax out of the way. After this turn, it'll be 2, and then we can just protect for the third turn of Dynamax. Yeah, I'm just going to Psychic and Blizzard here, I think. Okay, so much this does in Psychic Terrain. Not bad damage, actually. Sylveon does outspeed us. Okay, that's good to know. I'm expecting this to be Weakness Policy, Dragapult. Yep, called it. Special Defense drop there probably would have just ended the game, but it's still not terrible. He's going to go for Max Phantasm. This will KO after the Weakness Policy, obviously. So Trick Room is over now. We're faster than Vanilluxe with Vanilluxe. I guess the main thing is that we only have special attackers in this game, so we don't have a great way to really hit that Sylveon now, do we? Okay, so Trick Room ends now. Dragon Ball does one more turn of Dynamax. Got Chandelure and Rotom in the back. I think I'll bring out Rotom here. The problem is, who does the Dragon Ball target? It probably knocks out Vanilluxe even through Protect. I would think you would have to target Vanilluxe here, so I'm going to go for Foul Play here onto the Dragapult. And I think sack the Chandelure. Let me see who my opponent has in the back once again. I think sacrificing Chandelure is fine, because Vanilluxe is better, yeah. So I need to hope for my opponent to target down Vanilluxe here, which I think you do. I'll still be eating up a single target Hyper Voice though, which is obviously not good. Okay. Max Phantasm. Into Rotom. Nice call. That's going to be the game then. That was a risky play. I mean, obviously I could protect Rotom and just click Blizzard there, and I was thinking, like, the bigger threat there is Vanilluxe, because it has Blizzard, which hits you both, and I outspeed the Sylveon. So my opponent, it pretty much came down to that read, I think. I think if we get that, we probably win the game. Depends on what my opponent's last Pokemon is, but I think Vanilluxe plus... Yeah, I think Vanilluxe can close it out. That was a fun one, though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Gothitelle wasn't the right Pokemon to Dynamax. The Max Guard play was a good one, too. It came down to that turn, though. It was a pretty read-based turn. Like, if I just protect there and click Blizzard, I think we just win the game instantly. But, like I said, it's pretty much a read on who you target. And I felt like Vanilluxe was the, more likely candidate to be targeted. But, nice read by my opponent to really end that one. Yeah, because if we just protect Blizzard, we win the game. Like, we knock out Dragapult. Sylveon probably doesn't get KO'd, but it'll be in very, very close KO range. And then at that point, Rotom doesn't even take that much damage because it's protecting, and then Rotom can beat pretty much everything in the back of my opponent's team. So, yeah, maybe we should have just tried to Dynamax Rotom in this game, but I felt like in the position we were in, Gothitelle was actually not a bad Pokemon to Dynamax. But we probably could have played better so that we didn't need to be in a position to make a read. So, yeah, I don't know. That was fun, though. I'm glad we could have featured Dynamax Gothitelle. Maybe we should have prioritized knocking out Sylveon quicker, too. I gotta think about it. You're going up against a relatively standard team here. Kind of looks like a Glow's team, with just Hydreigon over Duraludon. Everything else is the same in terms of Pokemon. So maybe we actually Dynamax Vanilluxe in this game. I mean, there's 4 Pokemon that are weak to Freeze Dry, and then 3 that are weak to Ice. And I actually like the idea of Dynamax Vanilluxe in this game. So yeah, first time using this team, and we get like 3 different Pokemon to Dynamax immediately, which I think is pretty cool. Let's see. One thing you have to watch out for is like Max Fire. There's so many ways to play with this team, which makes it really flexible, but it's also hard when just trying it out from the start. You don't necessarily want to set up Trick Room here either, because Vanilluxe will probably be faster than Gastrodon and the Mudsdale. I'm thinking Grimmsnarl Vanilluxe here. It has Fake Out. With offensive Grimmsnarl, we can actually play rough to KO things. In the back, I guess we want things from Mudsdale still, so Rotom is solid if we knock out that Chandelure, or sorry, the Gastrodon. And then I think Sash Chandelure is okay here, especially because we have Energy Ball. Alright, let's try out a new mode here. This is a really fun team. I like it a lot. That last game, yeah, pretty much came down to that read, I think, on that last turn on who Dragapult targets. Because if you do target the Vanilluxe like I was expecting you to, then we knock out the Dragapult with Foul Play, Hyper Voice doesn't KO us, and then it's Rotom and Vanilla. Then it would have depended on what my opponent had in the back. It's actually going to get Grimmsnarl and Hydreigon here. Okay, this is where offensive Grimmsnarl could be huge for us. Because play rough will just knock out the opposing Hydreigon. Yeah. And Hydreigon is a pretty big threat here. I could fake out the Hydreigon, but that might Dynamax. Could also just go for play rough into Hydreigon, to be honest, and then protect Vanilluxe on this first turn. I think that's pretty safe. Yeah, let's go for that. My opponent might not be expecting offensive Grimmsnarl here. Alright, no Dynamax. Protect. She's gonna Light Screen, that's fine. Fire Blast, maybe? Heat Wave, okay. That's more than okay with me. If we hit this play rough, that's a great start to this game. Come on, offensive Grimmsnarl, you can do it. Play rough. Does connect. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's excellent. So we know it screens too. Mudsdale might come out now. Their Grimmsnarl is faster, so that's good to know. We can't taunt Grimmsnarl, which is one of the downsides. You can bring on Mudsdale, but if we Dynamax, we probably survive, I would think, like a max Rockfall, right? I would hope so. And then that would activate Weakness Policy. We don't have a great switch out, so... Yeah, I'm honestly fine just going for play rough onto Grimmsnarl here. Dynamax, and just max Hailstorm Mudsdale. I think that's solid. I think Mudsdale Dynamax is here. So then the question is, do you go for... Oh, if you self-swagger, you're going to knock me out for sure. I should have thought about that. Should have thought about that. Yeah. So what would have been better? It would have been better to conserve Rotom and Dynamax with that instead then. That was a mistake. Because I think my opponent almost always goes for Swagger into Mudsdale. Yeah. So I should have Dynamax Rotom. It just has a better matchup against Mudsdale as well. We could have gone for just like Blizzard here and pick up free damage and then come in with Rotom and just max Geyser. So I actually messed that up pretty badly. I just forgot to let it be KOing after Swagger. He's actually going for Reflect. Okay, then we're good. That's very fortunate. I think we should survive an attack from that. So here's Max Hailstorm. It's probably going to do like only like 30-35% with Light Screen and a Cell Vest. Yep, right around the money there. Just confirmed the Assault Vest though, which is good to know. So here's Life Orb play rough into Grimmsnarl. Almost gets a knockout there still. Not bad. That damage is not bad at all. It is going to be max Rockfall. Let's see if we survive this. I think we should. Oh yeah, nice. That's beautiful. Perfect. So that activates Policy Policy. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean the thing there is you can only go for Swagger or Reflect, and if you miss Swagger, that probably just ends the game immediately. But I think here we're still actually in a great position. Because we know it's Assault Vest Mudsdale. Yeah. And it also could be worthwhile to actually just switch out here into like Rotom. I don't think I mind attacking with both here though. What I'm worried about is just Thunder Wave from Grimmsnarl or Swagger into Vanilluxe. Yeah, I guess I'll play rough here and go for Max Hailstorm. I mean, who would be in the back? Let's outspeeding us. Arcanine, which I don't think is likely, to be honest. Maybe we play rough into Grimmsnarl here and actually max guard Vanilluxe. I think that's fine. Be frustrated to see self-swagger here. Okay, yeah, that went into Vanilluxe. Yep. Good. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so Grimmsnarl is out the way now. I don't have to worry about Thunder Wave or Swagger. More importantly, too, this Mudsdale didn't get the boost, so it's just at neutral now. Yep, double out into Vanilluxe. Perfect. Ah, man, that last one was still... I'm still thinking about that one. It was definitely winnable, but my opponent conserved the Dragon Pult really well. Assault Vest Sylveon was impressive, too. Sylveon's really underplayed right now, I think, and it's super good. Yeah, but it's Gastrodon is the last one. Perfect. So we'll beat that pretty easily. I think we just double up onto Mudsdale here with Play Rough and Max Ice. And then I think we should be able to win with Chandelure and Rotom in the back. I think this double up should knock out Mudsdale. It's close. It might hang out with a sliver of HP, which I'm a little worried about. But with Energy Ball and Gastrodon in the back, Sorry, on Chandelure in the back, we can easily just outspeed and knock out both of these because we have the speed advantage. So here's +2 Max Hailstorm. It is going up against Assault Vest and Light Screen Mudsdale. But that does a ton of damage. I think if Play Rough connects here, that should be going down. Nice. So we get to use Weakness Policy Vanilluxe, which is sick. And like I said, I think every Pokemon on this team can Dynamax, and nice. Life Orb Play Rough connects. We get a crit there. That might have mattered. Gotten a little fortunate today with the crits for sure, especially in that first game too. So the main thing here is we were able to make sure that Mudsdale wasn't able to do too much. Now you don't even knock out the Vanilluxe, and we can just click Freeze Ride this next turn after Dynamax ends. But yeah, as soon as Mudsdale goes down there, the game's over. Even if we don't knock out with the crit, I think we probably get that KO even without the crit. But even if we don't, like, the Hail's taking it out anyway, and even if you pick up a double knockout, like I just have Rotom and Chandelure against Gastrodon, and then all I need to do is click Foul Play Energy Ball, and that just wins the game. But I'm going to bring out Chandelure here, just because I want to see if it was Rindo Berry or not. Not that it makes a difference, I think. Even with Rindo Berry, I'm pretty sure, like, Foul Play Energy Ball, plus then, like, Hail damage, and then another Foul Play should knock out Gastrodon. So I don't think my opponent really had an out there, even if the Mudsdale was surviving there from, like, a miss. Yeah, I'm just gonna protect Energy Ball here to see. But my opponent might just forfeit. Yeah. Okay, cool. That was a really, really fun first episode with this team. We got 2 wins, 1 loss. That 1 loss I think was super close though. Like, it comes down to who the Dragapult targets in that last turn of Dynamax, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I protect Rotom there and you just target down the Vanilluxe, like, we lose. So it pretty much came down to whoever made the right prediction that turn, and was able to knock out the Dragapult. So, yeah, that was a really fun one, though. I mean, we did so many things with this team already. We showed off, like, the Life Orb offensive Grimmsnarl. We showed off how good Vanilluxe can be. Once Dynamax, we Dynamax Gothitelle. We brought all the Pokemon in this episode, so that's pretty exciting. I think, if anything, maybe in that second game, we still could have should have Dynamax Rotom. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Dynamaxing Rotom in that matchup into Assault Vest Sylveon and into Dragapult, because, like, we don't really do too much damage to either. So, I don't think it was a bad idea to Dynamax with the Gothitelle, but maybe we also need to prioritize knocking out Sylveon before knocking out Milotic. So, yeah, that was a really fun one, though, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. You can try out this team yourself. Like I said, it's a rental team. Check it out in the description below, as well as the creator of the team. Once again, this team was able to get ranked #1 on the ladder last season, so it's a lot of fun to use for sure. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you have any suggestions for what Pokemon you'd like to see me use, because I'm building some new teams, let me know in the comments below. Come tune into the stream this Friday. We'll be streaming again on Twitch. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. All right, peace.